But the truth is, my dude, that it's not set in stone, you know? At the moment,
no spoon on the end.
There's no spoon. I mean, we can spoon it if you want, but it's what it really comes to is popularity, you know? So what that means is, at the moment, I'm making an American and an English version of RhymeWave, and they're sitting next to each other. But in the process of doing that, I'm reading the Oxford Dictionary, the Cambridge Dictionary, and the Free Dictionary. And I've got them both open as tabs on my computer, and I refer to them constantly. And they all disagree with each other all the way through. It's relative, you know?
Yeah.
It depends who you listen to, where you're living in the country. English is a mongrel accent. It's made of all these different languages, all coming together, smushed. That's why people who don't come from, who don't speak English, find it very difficult to learn the rules. It's because you're learning about a million rules at once. You're learning maybe...
You are trying to take the 3 dictionaries and make one rule of them.
I'm trying. But it's like...
But that's what the people are trying to do. That's what...
They are.
Yeah, when they come and they're trying to learn the language.
But when people say speak English properly, it makes me laugh, you know? English is made of Greek, Latin, French, German, Norse, you know, like it's Viking, I mean, you know, it's got all these influences. And it's really interesting that, say, sometimes the swear words that are in the language are often of Norse origin, they're often of Viking origin, and they're very short and sharp, like the sort of way that you would speak to a dog, you know, when you speak, come, sit, eat, you know, it's like bam, it's that sort of gut punch of the monosyllable that people just find it too much to deal with, you know?
Yeah.
I hear people do that all the time in their lyrics. Lots of really well-known MCs and local MCs.
And then you test it on Facebook and you have all this response.
Oh man, yeah, if I put up a rhyme scheme, so, you know, sometimes I'll have one page that I need more rhymes for, so I'll just bust it out there onto social media and say, yo, has anyone got any suggestions?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's a fun game, you know, and people start responding and coming with their own versions, and sometimes it will be in their own accent, and so it opens up these kind of conversations. And it's interesting, there was this guy, in terms of putting it out on social media like that, I'm not the first person to do that. There was this guy, Shuffle T, and he made this dictionary called the Advanced Rhyming Dictionary. And he was actually doing that, putting up schemes, and people were commenting before I was there, you know? Okay. And for me, the most obvious way I could represent RhymeWave was to put up a rhyme scheme. I wasn't asking people to comment on their own rhymes, but possibly because they had the kind of habit of doing it from what he did, it started as a sort of tradition and a culture on my channel. So I've got to big up Shuffle T, who's out there, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Nice, man. So the original idea was just make a tool for everybody to use in his rhymes. And you have some people involved in the way.
Yes. So if you want me to tell you the story of how it came together in that way. So I finished this Excel spreadsheet, it was ready to go. But I needed someone to code it for me. So at the time I was delivering sushi around town. And I'd get on this black bike and drive off into the summer night and go delivering sweaty raw fish to the surrounding towns. And there was another dude who was a driver like me. He was a guy called Tom Heath. And he was just a dope guy. I got on with him straight away. And we were sent to some sort of work thing in London. This is 2 days after I'd started working there. And I had my book full of rhymes on the page, and I was filling in rhymes. And he didn't know anything about me, but he was sitting opposite me, reading upside down what I was writing. And he said, "Are you an MC? And is that your rhyming dictionary?" And I was just like, "Yes." And a couple months later, I asked him if he could code it for me, because I knew he was messing around with coding. So he came around to my house, and he did it really fast. He got the algorithm that it would take to make RhymeWave possible.
Like the code, all
It was how much of a variation of like bits, basically. You're talking about how many what the bit rate would be that it would take to make that happen. And the truth was, it was quite a simple bit rate to make RhymeWave happen, you know,
Okay.
because of the way it was designed. And so, yeah, we worked on it, and we had this prototype version that we put up online, and I was using to put new words in, and I could see what the user experience was going to be. And I was using it myself in rap workshops that I was teaching, you know.
Okay.
I'm working for this group called Audio Active, and I'm going into schools, going into pupil referral units, all sorts of spots, and people were using it, and I was seeing it in action, and seeing what it was that how people were responding to it. Now, about a year later, I got a call, and they told me that he had died, you know.
Oh shit.
And I was just, I felt really close to him. It was a good friendship, and he was a kind of
Like a short time, not a really connection.
yeah, and he was a subtle guy, a very clever and funny guy, you know. And so I just went, I just stopped and didn't move on it for a couple of years, you know.
Yeah.
And didn't put in any new words, did nothing.
You stopped totally the
I
project.
stopped totally.